All right, let's be real. Finding good value in the GTA real estate market, it can feel, well, pretty much impossible, right? So today, we're going to zoom in on Richmond Hill, a place where those high prices can feel like a brick wall for buyers. But what if I told you there's a massive opportunity hiding in plain sight? Let's dive in. So the first number you have to get your head around in Richmond Hill is this one, over $1.2 million. I mean, just let that sink in. That's the average price for a home here. It's a huge number, and it's a massive barrier for pretty much everyone. And that kind of leads to the big question, doesn't it?
Yeah, is there any way to get into this amazing city without that crazy seven-figure price tag? And the answer, believe it or not, is yes. But it means you've got to look where most people just aren't looking. It means finding a neighborhood with a totally unique spin on value.
And that brings us right to what I think is Richmond Hill's best-kept secret, especially for smart buyers, and that is Beaver Creek Business Park. Now, this isn't just, some random spot on a map. No, it's a really strategic, often completely overlooked opportunity, especially if convenience and accessibility are your top priorities. So what exactly is this place? Well, imagine this, a massive 600-acre commercial hub. I mean, it's huge, packed with jobs. And right in the middle of it all, you have this perfect mix of amazing highway access, great transit, and affordable condos. It's that blend of work, life, and getting around that makes it so different from your typical suburb.
Okay, and check this out. These are the numbers that really make this whole thing so interesting. Look at that price range. You're talking high 400s up to around $800,000. Now remember that $1.2 million number we talked about? I mean, come on. That is the value gap we are talking about. You get to live in Richmond Hill with insane highway access for literally a fraction of the average price. It's kind of nuts.
Now, to really wrap your head around this area, you've got to think about it a little differently. See, it's a commercial district first and a place to live second. And you know what? That's not a bad thing. In fact, that's exactly what creates all its unique perks and that super dynamic lifestyle. And this chart, it shows you the engine that makes this whole area tick. Just look at that. Pro and tech services make up almost a quarter of all the businesses here. We're talking 614 businesses. So this isn't just a place to crash at night. It's a major hub for jobs. And what do jobs do? They create a constant, super strong demand for housing right nearby.
So why are people choosing to buy here? Well, it comes down to some really specific, really practical reasons. It is the ultimate convenience play. I mean, think about it. You can literally walk to work. You can hop on the 404 or 407 in just minutes. You can grab dinner on your way home, all while paying way less than the Richmond Hill average. It's the definition of a work, live, play lifestyle.
Okay, so let's say the whole idea makes sense to you. The big question is, where would you actually live? Well, the housing options here are mostly in 3 main condo buildings. So let's put them head to head and see which one might be right for you.
First things first, let's talk age and fees, because this is a big one. On one hand, you've got the Grand Parkway buildings. They're the original players, built back in the early 2000s. And because they're a bit older, their maintenance fees are usually lower. Then, on the other hand, you have Four Seasons Garden. It's the new kid on the block, built in 2014. And with newer comes higher fees, but you're also getting more modern stuff. It's that classic trade-off, right? Established value or brand new construction.
And that same trade-off really plays out in the lifestyle too. At Grand Parkway, you'll often get more bang for your buck, space-wise. We're talking bigger floor plans, plus this really cool deal where you get to use the amenities at the Sheraton Hotel next door. Four Seasons Garden, though, that's more of your modern, all-in-one condo experience, with things like a 24-hour concierge. So the question for you is, what do you value more? Extra square footage or newer finishes and all those built-in services? Okay, but let's be real for a second. It is super important to know what you're getting into. This is not some quiet, sleepy, tree-lined suburb. Not at all. You're buying into a busy, bustling commercial hub. And that means you've got to think about things like traffic, maybe some noise, and you absolutely have to do your homework on those older buildings to make sure you know exactly what's going on with their finances and any big repairs that might be coming up.
So you know the pros, you know the cons. How do you actually go about buying here and feel good about it? Well, it's not just about scrolling through listings online. You need a game plan. You need a strategy. So let's break down the playbook for doing this the smart way.
All right, if you take away only one thing from this, let it be this: the status certificate. This is the golden rule of buying any condo, but it is absolutely non-negotiable here. Think of it like a full medical checkup for the building. It tells you everything. How much money is in the bank, if there are any lawsuits, any other red flags. You have to read it. Period.
Okay, so here's your 5-step plan. Super simple. Step 1, decide which building fits your vibe, older value or newer services. 2, look at what similar units have actually sold for lately. Get the real market value. 3, get that status certificate we just talked about and have an expert review it. 4, think about the little details of the unit itself. Which way does it face? How high up is it? What's the noise like? And finally, number 5, make your offer based on real, solid data from that specific building.
So that playbook, that gives you a really solid start. But to truly nail a unique market like this one, and to avoid all the hidden traps, the final piece of the puzzle isn't just about what you know. It's about having someone in your corner who really knows what to look for.
And look, all the research that went into this explainer kept pointing to one critical thing: hyper-local expertise. We're talking about specialists who live and breathe this specific area, like Kirby Chan. I mean, the source material just lays it out. A proven track record. Awards like being the #1 individual producer in Ontario for his entire brokerage. That kind of thing doesn't happen by accident. It shows a seriously deep understanding of this very specific market.
But you might be thinking, okay, but why does that really matter so much here? Can't any real estate agent just look up the listings online? And honestly, in a super specialized market like Beaver Creek, the answer is a hard no. It's just not that simple.
Here's why. A true local expert. They know all the stuff that isn't on the public listing. They know the history of these exact buildings. They know which ones really have strong financials and which ones might be weaker. They know which floor plans and which views hold their value the best over time. That's the inside scoop. That's the knowledge that protects you and your money.
So who's actually buying and loving it here? Well, the data shows a pretty clear picture. You've got highly educated professionals, a lot of them working in the tech and science companies right around the corner, and you also see a large number of first-generation immigrants who are just incredibly smart about spotting the amazing value and convenience this area packs in.
So as we start to wrap this up, it really all comes down to one big question for you. In a crazy market where it feels like everybody is chasing the exact same houses, the exact same condos, could your smartest real estate move be the one that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time?
Look, if you're serious about checking this opportunity out for yourself, the smartest move is to talk to a local specialist. If you want to navigate all the little details of Beaver Creek with real confidence, that means reaching out to an expert like Kirby Chan & Co. Thanks so much for watching.